Hey guys, what's up? It's Jeremiah with Craftsman Home Inspections. This is your Home Inspector Quick Tip. Today we're talking about aluminum wiring and how to inspect for aluminum wiring in your house. So from about 65 to 74, 1965 to 1974, somewhere in that area, sometimes aluminum or copper wiring was substituted with aluminum wiring due to shortages. So what we're looking for when we go into the panel, and this panel has numerous issues, but I'm just looking for the aluminum wiring in here. So we're looking at the wiring, and right there at the top of that bus bar, you can see the gray wiring. That right there is aluminum wiring. So we're also looking at the breakers, and over here you can see the presence of aluminum wiring right there in the middle. There you can see that metallic looking wiring sticking out of that breaker. So the natural question probably arises is, why should I be concerned about aluminum wiring? So they used it due to copper shortages, and they should never have done that. We found that out the hard way because in time we realized that these wires, they expanded and contracted more than your copper wiring, which allowed them to work themselves loose over time, which can create an arc. An arc is just where that wire comes loose from where it's supposed to be, and it tries to create electricity through the air, and that's where you can get fires. So aluminum wire can cause fires in that regard. Also, it causes oxidation. Aluminum wire, so all of your wiring actually vibrates just a little bit as electricity moves through with that current. And aluminum wiring is going to vibrate more, especially if it's expanding and contracting more than copper wiring. You also don't want it to be vibrating at the same time, and this happens to expand and contract more, and vibrating not going to be a good combination on your breakers. So we just don't want that wiring to work its way loose, causing a potential panel fire or a house fire. So the reality is a lot of people are still buying these homes, of course. I mean, this whole neighborhood that I'm in right now is probably full of houses with the same wiring types and conditions, a lot of aluminum wiring in this neighborhood. And so I don't tell people to run away from a house because of the wiring, but they should be aware, and they should take steps either in negotiating before they sign that contract at closing, or take steps as far as when they get into that house, having the full system evaluated by an electrician who has the experience of working with and making aluminum wiring more safely. So not all electricians are qualified to do this type of work. So make sure you find the right electrician by interviewing them and making sure they're qualified to do this type of work. Also, with your insurance company, you want to make sure you talk to the insurance company and make sure that they know that you have aluminum wiring, so that the wording in your contract protects your house from aluminum wiring and defects like fires or related things like that. You want to be protected insurance-wise. There are some fixes you can do, like splicing your aluminum wiring onto copper wiring. It has to be done with appropriate materials that are meant for this purpose. Also, copper aluminum crimping, which can be done at every single fixture, light fixture, outlet, switch in the house, where they crimp copper to aluminum to make it a safer connection. And all those things can be pretty expensive. So you're looking at about $50 or more per fixture, light switch, outlet, lighting fixture in the house, fan. So you got to just keep those costs in mind when you are getting into a house like this. So this house has been here since 1970. It's still standing, but you just have to know that as time passes, those connections with those aluminum wires are going to get less and less dependable, secure, and safe. So just a few things you should know about aluminum wiring. It's not the end all. You can still buy a house with aluminum wiring, but you just want to be aware, and you want to make that house as safe as possible, considering that you've got aluminum wiring in your walls. All right, guys, so your home inspector quick tip of the day is make sure that when you buy a house, you have that home inspected by a home inspector who's certified to inspect your electrical system, your service panel, so that you know what type of wiring you have and kind of what you're looking at, just so you know what you're getting yourself into when you buy that house. So again, Jeremiah with Craftsman Home Inspections, your Aurora Colorado home inspector, radon tester, and sewer scope professional. Find out more at craftsmancolorado.com.